Hello guys, welcome to my channel Analytics with Ashish. Please subscribe to this channel as I will be putting the series of videos to cover machine learning and various aspects of data science. So this is going to be a hands-on series. I will not talk much about the theory part. I will be talking only the portion which is good for understanding. So let's start with the very basic steps, importing libraries and data. So whenever we are dealing with data science related projects, then there are three basic libraries which we should always include. So that are the libraries which we are going to import right now. So import NumPy. NumPy is the first library which we should always include as NP. NP is just an alias name so that we don't have to type NumPy every time. Second is import matplotlib. As the name is indicating, and you must have already guessed, this matplot is related to visual. So if you want to add any kind of visuals in your analysis, then matplotlib is the library which you should include. And when we talk about matplotlib, there is especially a package uh, which is pyplot, which we are going to include as PLT. And the next is import pandas as PD. So these are the three libraries which are very important and essential to use. So that's why we are already covering, already importing it. Uh, okay, to execute these three lines, you have to just select them and press F9, and then it will be executed. And this I'm using Spider, and if you have any difficulty or if you want any help to how to install Anaconda or Spider, then you can go through my another video which I have in which I have already covered this portion. I will be putting that link into the description box, so you can refer that as well. So once we import the library, then next is importing the data. And if you want to add any comments, then you can always put hash and then you can follow that. So importing data. And when you want to import the data, okay, then we will be using this library called PD. So let's write the variable name dataset, and then we can say PD. PD is pandas dot, and then here you can see all the methods, and the method which we are going to have is it depends on what kind of data you are having. If you are having CSV data, then you can go and see read underscore CSV, or if you have simple Excel file, then you can go to read underscore Excel. So in our case, it is read underscore CSV. So that's what we are going to select. And now we have to provide the argument, right? Because this is a method, so we need to provide the argument. And the one important thing is here, like either you give the whole path of the file, or if not, then what you can do is like you can set your working directory. So to set the working directory here, you can always select this folder here, and then you can see here this is the working directory which I have in my case. Right now it is not showing, but if you go here, File Explorer, yeah, then you can see right now I have already this data.csv there. And so if I simply write here, um, let's say it is case sensitive, so it's very important to write in the same format. So it's data .csv. Okay, so now because it is in my working directory, this file, so that's why I don't have to provide the entire path. I can just write the name of the file, and then once I execute this, then I can see here this dataset variable has been created. The type of this dataset variable is data frame, and the size is 10. 10 is the number of rows and 4 is the number of columns. If you want to see the data, then you can click here, and then you can see this is the column which has already been added actually. So this is index, and then this is country, age, salary, and this purchase. These are our variable, and what we want to do here is like based on these three variables, country, age, and salary, we want to see whether these guys they will be purchasing the product or not. So in this particular the problem which we are going to solve actually in the near future, these will be our independent variable, and this will be our dependent variable. So independent variable is the variable which we are using to do the prediction, and dependent variable is the one which we are going to predict actually. Okay, so yeah, so let's decide what is independent variable and what is dependent variable. So let's x is our independent variable, so we can say data set, because in this data set we have all the variables, right? But we have to categorize them in different way. Like these particular three variables, they are going to be independent variable, and this particular variable is the dependent variable, so we have to distinguish them. So for that purpose, we have this data set dot iLock. And now uh, now the first thing is number of rows. So we can say like we want to select all the rows, like, and then, and what we want to select, we want to select all the columns except last one. So here you see we want to select this column, this column, this column, all the column. Or either I can say like, like either I can provide the like index number of this column, this column, this column, or this from this column to this column, or I'm just saying like, okay, selecting all except this one. That's what I wrote here actually. So that's our X. And next is our Y. Y is again data set, not unlock. And here again we want to select all the rows but not all the columns. We want to select only one particular column, and that column is what, that column is, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So that column is 3 actually. So now let's execute these two, x, y. So now we have created x and y variable. If you want to see what we have in x, then we can see x is having country, age, and salary. And if you see y, then in y we are having whether they are like, that values. So this is how we have imported our variable, imported our data set, and then we have categorized what is dependent variable and what is independent variable. In next session we are going to talk about how to take care of the missing data. Thank you.